Listen up, bro. Top 10 most nuts kings. Let's go. Alright, at number 10, we got King Ludwig II of Bavaria. We're starting off light with this one. He's just a bit of a loose cannon. He was an absolute baller and spent so much money. He didn't give a shit about being king and just spent all his time building castles instead. The coldest one was for sure this one. Look at this shit. He might have been nuts, but I don't blame a man for wanting to build castles, which is why he's only number 10 on this list. At number 9 we got Qin Shi Huang of China. This guy's madness came from his obsession with immortality. Since he became king, he spent all his time trying to become immortal. He went on adventures to find magical potions to extend his life, which was, of course, absolutely genius. He ate mercury pills as well, because he thought it would improve his health, but it actually just made it worse. And in the end he died earlier than if he hadn't taken all that stupid shit, which is quite ironic. He tried to become immortal and died because of it. He was buried together with a whole army of soldiers made out of clay. The soldiers were supposedly immortal soldiers to protect the immortal king. The immortal king who was dead. Again, quite ironic. At number 8 we got Justin II of the Byzantine Empire, also known as the East Roman Empire. Mentally nuts, this one. Sometimes he would just go crazy and bite his servants in their faces. God damn, bro. Apparently his servants built a throne with wheels, so when Justin went nuts, they would put him on the throne and drive him around his palace like a little baby, which for some reason calmed him down. Hella weird, this guy. At number 7 we got King Christian VII of Denmark. This guy was insane. Like, he was actually insane. He was, among other things, a schizophrenic. So, he was mentally still a child, which is just amazing when you're a king. He spent most his time in brothels or beating the shit out of random people in the streets. Usually with this weapon. I mean, what the f***? This guy was batshit crazy. At number 6 we got Shengdi of China. He had a great imagination, this fucker. That's about the only positive thing to say about him. He basically acted like a child during his whole reign. He built a fake city to roleplay with his servants. Yeah, that's right. He would act like he owned a store, and he made his servants act like they were people coming to shop at his store. Have in mind, this is the king of China we're talking about. At one point he also dressed his army in silk and went on fake raids before he got stopped. Actually nuts, this guy. At number 5 we got Rudolf II of the Holy Roman Empire. This guy was obsessed with potions. Let's just start there. He spent most of his time making potions in his bedroom, which is fantastic when you're the leader of an empire. He also thought he had the Holy Grail, which, spoiler alert, he didn't. On top of that, he had an affair with his chief of staff. So yeah, this guy was batshit crazy. But I have to say that this guy's family was also inbreeding for decades, which is probably to blame for all of this. At number 4 we got Caligula of the Roman Empire. This guy was insane, so I'll start it off light. He tried to instate his horse as a consul, which is, completely normal behavior. He thought he was a god and whacked anyone who got in his way. One time he was watching gladiators fighting lions, but at some point they ran out of gladiators, so he just took hundreds of people from the audience and had them fight the lions instead. Guess who won? He did some other shit involving his family too, but you'll have to Google that yourself. It's too to be said here. At number 3 we got King Charles VI of France. This guy was nuts, crazy in the head, out of his mind, whatever you want to call him. At the age of 25, he literally forgot his own name and that he was king. He also forgot his wife and kids. Pure brain rot with this one. Also, while out with his army, he lags out and out of nowhere just kills 4 of his own soldiers. And on top of that, this guy was tweaking so hard that he at one point literally thought his whole body was made of glass. This was the king of France. What is going on? At number 2 we got Farouk of Egypt. This guy was basically your average iPad kid. He was the last king of Egypt, and in a few moments you'll know why he was the last. He gambled all the time and was fat as apparently getting through 30 sodas every day. He also loved stealing, like really loved it. So much so that when the legendary Winston Churchill visited Egypt, he stole Churchill's watch. What was wrong with this guy? One time he had a nightmare about tigers, so naturally he went to Cairo Zoo and shot all the tigers they had. And as the cherry on top, when Germany wanted to invade Egypt during World War II, Farouk called the Austrian painter personally and thanked him. What the f***? And at number 1 we got Nero of the Roman Empire. Imagine the worst actor or singer you've ever seen in your life, constantly acting in the biggest movies or singing on the biggest stages. That was basically Nero. He loved singing, acting and performing, and because he was emperor, he could constantly put himself on the biggest stages. But he was so shit and his plays went on for so long that men in the audience faked heart attacks and women faked going into labor just so they could leave. God damn, he must have sucked. Also, he killed his mother and his first wife, and later he killed his second wife too. And after that, he found a slave that looked similar to her, castrated him, dressed him as her, and then married him. That has got to be the most f***ed thing I've ever heard. That's the top 10. Did you agree? If you did, that's cool I guess. If you didn't, f*** off. I'll see you in the next one.